All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer with Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon, and we're going to talk about the first three episodes that we got for Ironheart. Yeah, Riri Williams coming back after the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie, and she's getting her own show. So a lot of delays, a lot of issues, and stuff like that. Does it affect the overall show? I don't know. We'll talk about it. But yeah. But if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think about the show. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come and join us next week when we talk about the second half of this season. But yeah, Brian, what you think about this? The first three episodes so far.
It was fine. I mean, they're good. A lot of good parts of it. It held my interest the entire time. If I want to be honest, for me, there are things that I had problems with, as far as culturally, as a girl, as a black girl, as someone who's supposed to be a genius. There's just a lot of things that I don't think that really made a lot of sense, but could have with like a line here or a line there, but seeing like Disney didn't care about that much, But as far as is it good? I think it's good, yeah. But to say it's perfect or it's really great or anything like that, I can't say that. I think that it has issues, and I have a problem the way black girls are portrayed a lot in the MCU. So that's just me.
So okay. And we'll get into more of that in a little bit. But Brian, man, what you thought about the show so far?
First and foremost, I think everything Brian said was valid, especially with the portrayal of black female characters, especially in the MCU. But I also think the character of Riri is working a little bit more in the context of this so far than she did in Wakanda Forever. To me, I think she just kind of felt like many things just kind of stuffed in there or shoehorned in there. So I think the way that they're utilizing her and kind of slowly building the character up is working for me. I think Dominique Thorne is doing a great job.
She's so good.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot more to work with. I liked how the show hit the ground running. I liked how I like the overall vibe, and being someone who lives in Chicago, there's a lot of hey, I know that place. There's even one there's even like a one blink and you'll miss it instance, I think on the first episode, where I could actually see my building.
Talking about, I saw Brandman standing in the window. I was like, this.
You saw me in the window, right?
Hit the pause at the right time. You can see a magnifying glass in the window.
I like the dynamic between Riri and Natalie. I like really her interactions with just about everyone really worked for me, and it's leaving me kind of wanting to see a lot more in where they go. I think the pacing, it's not too fast, it's not too slow, and it's so far it's solid. Nothing not the best from the MCU, but at this point I think it's good enough. It's for where they seem to be
going. Yeah. I think I'm right there with you guys. Like it's good enough where I'm interested in the next three episodes for sure. And I think they could do something where it can end up being like a really good season. Is it going to be as good as like something like WandaVision or Loki? Probably not, but is it going to be better than like Secret Invasion? Yeah, it's already better than Secret Invasion, so yeah, it's just.
I had a poo this morning that was better than Secret Invasion. So
God,
it looked like her arm when she
Secret Invasion. What a letdown!
Looks just like the arm.
The arm she got. Oh, gee.
I'm still residually let down from disappointed from Secret Invasion.
It's so bad.
Jesus. And I was hyping that up like it was going to be amazing.
Yeah. So hopefully they learn their lesson and not do too crazy or do something that's so out there, and it's hard to do something so out there with Riri, even though you're doing with Anthony Ramos's character, with Parker, with the magic, kind of stuff. So you are kind of testing the waters with the supernatural kind of stuff, which I'm okay with, so far. But yeah, having fun with it so far. I never was bored. It was a little low in the beginning, but it progressively got better throughout the episodes. Where by the end of the third one, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sold. Like I want to see what happens next." But I was never to the point where I'm like, oh, like let's go already. There's some parts where I'm like, that's kind of stupid, but I still had fun with the heist. And I'm not a heist fan. I hate heist movies, stuff like that. But it was definitely like, evil Ocean's 11 type of thing. It definitely got that vibe. But yeah. But what about what you think about Brian?
They have a dude walking around Chicago in a cloak and with an actual cape on in Chicago, and he's the leader. What? Really? Have you ever been to Chicago? Anyone with a cape
walking around with it?
He was like in the streets with a cape on, showing her out outside. Like, oh, here's a cape. Like, dude, what are we doing? Really? If it's not Comic-Con, you get beat up. That's what that is. I thought that was strange. I thought that for her falling for that trap was so idiotic for a girl.
Which trap?
Yes, but that's the problem. Overall, like she's supposed to be this genius girl who went to college at 15 to MIT, doing all these things, and she's falling for these traps so easily. I thought that was a big problem. My other problem was the fact that she is so not motivated. And I understand her big speech at the beginning, but understanding that you have to crawl before you can run. You can't just go right into running, that you have to get your degree. You have to do certain things it's not just for you, it's for everyone behind you. And the fact that she was so arrogant that she couldn't see that, especially in this culture. I had a lot of problems with that. I had a lot of problems with her and her mother's relationship. I had a lot of problems with her disrespectfulness to a lot of people that have been there for her overall. Because I know she has trauma. She has a lot of trauma there. But that can't be the excuse all the time, because she's at an age now where I feel like past 17, you have to take some personal responsibility for some of the stuff. And no one's going to sit there and hold your hand for a lot of the trauma that you already are experiencing. And it's totally fair to talk about the trauma and how important it is and how hard it is. But it doesn't matter anymore. And I don't like portraying these tropes. The only little black girl we have in the MCU train these tropes all the damn time. It just makes me sick that that's all you think you know about black girls. This is what it is. This is, these are the flaws that are going to be all the time. The same thing over and over again. I just get tired of it. And it's like, you really don't know. There's more to them than just what you see, or they're going to fall for the okie doke all the time. I think, and they're always going to not care about the good guy, the guy who has their back. They're always going to, just kind of overrun them all the time. I don't like those characteristics being portrayed at the front of every character of specifically these black characters. I don't like that. So, those are things that I saw, and it has little to do with the writing of the show and more just how the writing of the character, and that bothers me. And it happens all the time. So that's my biggest problem. She's not acting the way she should be acting, and then the way the characteristics of her overall, like it was written by someone who doesn't know all the characteristics and things that black women go through. Just me.
Okay, valid. What about you, Brian? What issues you have?
I know there's a lot of raging about a certain character on the show.
No, who cares?
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm more kind of I'm not invested in that group as a whole, like the group that she falls into. I
Mhm.
think they're very bland, and I'd say cookie cutter, but that's almost being too nice to them. They're they just have zero presence, and that's nothing to do with the actors. It's just to do with the characters themselves.
Mhm.
I
They're
think
very
they're
lame.
I
They're
think
just
I,
it's
I was
lame.
just about to say lame.
Yeah.
They're just lame recycled tropes, and they're not doing a whole lot for me.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I'm already watching the show, so I am a little curious to see what they do with those characters. And then the character of Joe, I don't know. I think he's a little bit too much of a wimp for me. Like, so I'm hoping they kind of develop and evolve him a little more.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yep.
the just kind of some of the characters.
Dude, how many times is Anthony Ramos going to be like the same thing? The same type of character, like all the time with him, man. Well, I got these problems. These are the problems I always got. Like, this is the way I grew up. Like, come on, man. Really? All the time, the same guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I did get that kind of vibes with it. But I liked his character, and I think they're gonna. I have some like theories, and I think they're gonna like do some stuff with him. That's gonna be pretty interesting. With his backstory, family wise, and I think with where he gets the power from. Kind of what Fernando kind of hinted at. That's why I think they're going.
I mean, of course
I
we're going Mephisto, man. Come on,
I
you got it. It's
like
not. That's
yeah.
not. That's like the worst Hill secret ever. Sacha Baron Cohen, like
Yeah. So yeah, this is way more. Well, I mean, I guess in WandaVision it kind of like could have happened, but here it's more out in front because because I've seen it twice already. Like I watched it once and then I watched it again because I'm like I wanted to watch it again. And the things that bothered me the first time was like, oh, the contract thing. I'm like, that's kind of silly, And then but then I'm like, well, if it's Mephisto, the contract isn't just about like the money. Like I feel like it's gonna be like oh, Mephisto needs their signatures, he needs their soul, he needs them to sign the contract, because that's what Mephisto does. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, and I started noticing little different things. I was like, okay, like I think little things like that could definitely pay off. I hope they do, because if he just like convinced like some chick to like give all of them millions of dollars for no reason, like I feel like there's a Mephisto, thing coming in from the side. They're like, haha, we got all these rich people to sign these contracts. I own their soul now, or I own the deal that they made, or something stupid, But the crew was lame. They were just like, cool. You got people that fight. You got the hacker. It's like, okay, whatever. Like I feel like you could have kept the group too small. Kept it to Parker. Was his brother, I think, was the other dude, or his cousin.
Cousin.
Was his cousin. You keep it to them and who was it? Eric Andre? Not Eric Andre.
Was Eric Andre.
There was Eric Andre at the beginning. Like, and then Riri changes him out. Everyone else, you kind of like, oh, whatever, like I feel like you could have done it between the three people. You didn't have to have all these extra characters that mean nothing and kind of just bog down the heist of it all, and then so with Riri herself, I have one issue with them introducing her in Black Panther is that now she's here and she's struggling. she just helped save your fucking country, bro.
That's so
Like
stupid.
you're telling me
Well,
you
wait,
can't
but
make.
who's
like-
gonna give it to her? There's no one left.
I mean,
There's no one left in Wakanda.
yeah, I know, right? Everyone's gone.
The entire royal family is gone, man. Like,
Yeah,
who's gonna give it to her? Anything else?
yeah. I mean,
Then they fix her stepfather's car that she used to make the first one. They fixed it
and sold it.
and sent it back to her, and she sold it for other stuff.
Yeah, which is insane. You know, it just. But it's
left,
also like
wrote a letter saying, "Hey, can you send me some more stuff, please?"
But no, I was like, okay, cool. You don't want to give her vibranium. The whole point of at the end of Black Panther 1 was he wanted to go into cities and help like the black communities.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled Riri out of Chicago or wherever she was in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and she helped you make these damn suits. You know, she helped you save your country. You're telling me you can't make a T'Challa charity fund?
She didn't have to be in the Iron Man or whatever. Tony Stark college fund. You didn't have to do that. You could have had the city of Wakanda,
Wakanda college fund,
Wakanda
something
college fund. Yeah,
no, that's something that really pisses me off.
I was like
they didn't just walk back certain storylines and where they were going with T'Challa. They completely just trashed it. They threw it out.
Yeah, and that was an issue I had watching it the second time. I was like, why isn't Wakanda helping Shuri, especially because they were like really close in the movie?
Shuri's in Haiti now.
Like, but it's just.
Oh my God.
I was like, you could have $1 million. Like, here you go. Here's $1 million from like the wealthiest
richest
country in the world. You know, is like, here's $1 million. You know, this should get you by for a while. You know, like, yeah. You know, like, what are we doing? Like, that's the part that kind of puts me off. Is like, you're Wakanda. Here's this person that you know now who's super smart, super, you know, like good with these things, and you know she's struggling. You
send Bucky back with an arm, but you send Riri back with a ticket. All right, see you.
Yeah, like fucking did the Men in Black red flash made you forget shit. You know, I was like, bro, you know. So that story wise, that was a big problem for me. I was like, why are we doing that? You know, but then
I know why they do it, because once again, everyone's going. Who in Wakanda will remember her?
Yeah, right. It's I guess that's what happens when you, like you said, you kill
everybody off.
Yeah,
you know, strongest country in the world, kill everybody off, the whole family,
everybody. But for me, like kind of with what you were saying, Brian, with Riri and stuff like that, like the first time like I watched it, I was like, she's very arrogant and cocky and annoying. Not annoying in the sense of like she's annoying, but she's annoying as in like, because she is cocky, because she's like why'd you build a suit? She goes, because I can. And at first I'm like, I don't like it. The second time I watched it, it was very much like, oh, she's kind of like Tony Stark, but just poor.
They tried to make her like Tony Stark, but now understanding that they're two different cultures, and it's gonna be taking it differently.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and once again, he had billions of dollars. She had a loan, like nothing.
Yeah, and I get that's what they're going for. Is they're very much alike, blah blah blah, and they even say it in like the first episode. You know, that she thinks like the only reason Tony got so much better was because he had money, but she ain't wrong. But also, I think by the end of the show, it's going to be like, oh, it's because he was super smart. And same thing with her. It's like the money isn't the thing that makes you special. It's your mind, it's your brain, it's your intelligence. I know that's where they're going to go with it, which is cool. But it just sucks that they're, you know, like she's getting involved in this group, you know, and then everything like that. Like, I get you were doing like the Robin Hood thing, which is, yeah, I don't know, man. It's you know, at least by the end of the third episode, she kind of realized like, oh, I'm with bad people.
When they tried to kill her in the first episode, when she was in the elevator, she didn't figure that out. She could figure out how to hotwire an elevator. She could figure out a way to pry the door open. She could figure out all the other stuff.
Yeah.
but she can't figure out. Oh, these might not be good people.
These might not be good, but again, I think she falls for the get rich quick scheme kind of thing, which never works out. Getting rich quick never works out. It's just not a thing, So, and she's so money driven, and it kind of makes the character not feel like you don't want to support her almost, I don't know, but it's not that I didn't hate it. It's just like it is felt off, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I think they're gonna fix it in the next 3 episodes. At least I hope they do. But seeing where she ended there and where it might go, I'm like, okay, I think she's gonna be better. But so I have a question for you guys. I loved Natalie. As soon as she came out, she was awesome. You know, a lot of people on the internet are not liking her. They're saying she's annoying, she's pointless, she's like a silly character.
She didn't have a nice British accent, so that's the problem.
Yeah,
she had a British accent. Everybody like, "Oh man, she fired."
Yeah,
that's funny.
They were cool with Jarvis as Tony's AI, but
yeah.
Well, because everything someone says in British, it just sounds better, right? Everyone believes it now.
Sounds better. Yeah, Brand Davis says she's annoying. I don't think so. I think she's like really. I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
And people are like,
she had a nice British accent. You wouldn't be thinking she's annoying. I mean, she just sounds intelligent.
Yeah, I dug her, and then I saw a lot of people saying oh, how they get her friend, and why she's doing certain things. But I'm like, she's not Natalie. She's the thought of what Riri thought Natalie was. You know what I mean? So it's like she might have she sounds just like her, she looks just like her, she kind of acts like her, but she's not. You know what I mean? She's what Riri saw Natalie as. So that's kind of like the thing is it's not her, it's her projection of her friend. So it's gonna be slightly there, and I liked that. I thought that was cool.
From her perspective, which is always warped. And the further you get away from the actual event that happened, the further you get away from the actual truth of how they really were. You have this ideal image of this person instead of the realistic part of what they are.
Yeah, and I think that is the the dude that is a musician. I think he's gonna be that person, Xavier. I think he's gonna be the dude that hey, nah, she didn't do that, or she didn't say that, because right now they're on the same wave of oh, Natalie was awesome, and I'm assuming that was Natalie's boyfriend. I don't think they said it, but that's what I got. Where Riri's the best friend, and then the dude was the love interest of Natalie.
I felt like he liked Riri too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but they're both bonding over it. But I feel like the dude's gonna be once he possibly finds out, or he tells Riri something about Natalie and changes her perspective on it. So yeah, but like you said, it's always a warped thing. But people are hating on her, and I liked her right from the start. I'm I thought she was cool. I thought she was a little badass, hopping in from computers to projectors and chit chatting with the mom. So yeah, I thought that was all. And then so many people are that's not real. That's not realistic. An AI wouldn't do that. I just watched an article. I read an article about some dude who literally proposed to ChatGPT.
What about Jarvis?
Exactly.
Did we not see Jarvis with Tony Stark in 2009, in 2016?
What's the other one?
Not watch them?
There's Jarvis, and then there's the one that Spider-Man has in his suit.
Yeah,
which is funny. Karen, right? Was it Karen? Yeah, it was Karen. Which is funny enough because that was what's his name's real wife. I can't think of her name.
Bettany.
Paul Bettany's real wife, which she's yes, yeah. But then now he has Friday.
Jarvis, Friday, Karen, Edith.
Edith, yeah.
But once again, when you have British names, you just feel you like them better.
Yeah.
They sound smarter. They're better AI assistants.
Yeah,
They can do all these crazy things.
Yeah, all the other characters have like sentient. All the characters that we were just talking about are like sentient CGI, or not CGI, sentient AI, more or less. This one's suddenly a problem.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You guys
I
know
was
what
liking
Jarvis stands for?
Just
I used to.
Really very intelligent
System.
System.
Yeah. Just a rather very intelligent system.
That's funny. Yeah.
On Friday, female replacement intelligent digital assistant youth.
That was fine. I remember Edith was like,
even dead, I'm the hero.
Even dead, yeah. Is there one for Karen?
Nope. Just Karen.
Oh no, because
we all know what Karen is.
He named her Karen, right?
Yep.
I think. Yeah. So Bob.
He did.
Yeah. And then Kyle said, honestly, most brilliant people suffer in other areas.
But not one that she lived. She grew up in Chicago. She had a family that I don't know. You don't know Chicago. Like being there, obviously being on the south side of Chicago, those wouldn't be things that you would have problems with, because that would be your life every day. Every day you have to deal with it. And her stepdad was a mechanic. You see the life they're living. It just 1 + 1 didn't equal 2. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too close, and that's totally possible that I'm too close to the situation. I'm looking at it from the perspective like I know how things should be going on, and girls from even smart, brilliant girls on the south side, they're not going to fall for those type of things. You know, because someone's been trying to take advantage of you from the beginning. Every day of your life. That's part of being a female. You know, that's a part of it. I can tell my kids all the time, like, yeah, someone's always trying to take advantage of you. That's just what you get. Super sexualized. You get super, just they rationalize everything they do with you. That's just part of it. So, you know, taking advantage of you, people always are trying to do those things. So I don't understand how this is like the first time this ever happened to her, and she falls right for it, hook, line, and sinker, after they just tried to kill you. You know, this is the first time you say, "Oh, first one's free. I give you money, right? Give you some money. First taste is free. You like that? Here's some more money." Like, really? You falling for that? You didn't go. You didn't go to Dare. Like, you don't know that's what they do. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. I don't know.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. I mean, her being so, like you said, gullible is just kind of like really, like you're gonna forget it's common sense because they're flashing money at you.
Yeah, just throw everything to the wind.
Yeah. I do. Was it Joe? Was the other dude that you said it was kind of like kind of wimpy?
Yep.
I did like her and his kind of like relationship. You know, at first it was like kind of like goofy, but now I was like, you know, she kind of like told him to stand up for himself, and he kind of is. But finding out that he's what was it, Obadiah, you know, son, I'm like that. I think that's interesting because now you got a legacy character and legacy character, you know, from that same, you know, comic or from storyline that are working together, you know. So you have, you know, a direct, you know, legacy as with a son, and then you have, you know, in, well, I guess character style or whatever, with Riri, you know, with Ironheart. So I think that could be really cool, you know, a lot of like fun potential kind of stuff. So, you know, and it was interesting that but the ass is just in a cookie jar.
Like a huge, like a freezer bag, basically, like a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what they come in. You get a little box and you get a little baggie inside that box. So, yep. But it was funny. But I was thinking him. You know, at first he was kind of annoying. Then I'm like, okay, like you're kind of growing on me a little bit. You know. Yeah, especially with him out in the suburbs. I think it's like funny.
Yeah.
You know.
It was funny when he cut that Karen's flowers.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because when he turned around, he stepped on the dog doo doo. I was like, oh, come on. He finally stood up for himself. So we appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with us. If you're watching on the replay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and join us next week when we talk about the second half of this show. But we want to hear from you, so leave a comment as well. And if you are watching live, stick around because we're going to move on to our next topic for the night.